Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy IV Monk's Run. This is Solinus Dracone, and I did a little bit of work off camera, trying to even out the levels just a bit. I figured that a little bit more grinding could go unnoticed because it was kind of adding to the runtime. I also kind of intentionally let San and Shi die so that I could get Ichi and Ni back up to close to speed. So they're all at the same level, and we're already throwing out the 6-hit combos. I'm going to make this particular run focused on going for Astos, see if we can get his ass down. I feel much more confident about my ability to make it through the Marsh Cave. And as is per my normal, I am absolutely freaking tired. But hey, my best work comes at 1 in the morning when I'm bloody delirious, so we all know what's coming up for a treat. Look at that, I'm just pounding these worms into submission. There is nothing they can do about me. And as you can see, I've gotten a lot of gold together, a lot of gil, for my efforts over at Devil's Point. So I am well able to take this particular challenge on. Let's go ahead and stock up on some stuff. I'm gonna want probably about 10 gold needles, not for this trip, but just because I happen to be in the area. And let's get some tents. Yeah, I think that's just fine. Awesome. Okay, so I'm back on the X12 headset tonight. I didn't care for how I was sounding on the P11. I kind of thought it was impure sound, so to speak. So I'm gonna see how the audio track evens out with the X12 again, because the P11 it plugs in through USB, and this one does the regular microphone jack. And I am not going to be told that USB mics can be better than the actual microphone jack mics. Not until I see some good solid science behind that. Yeah, kill him. There we go. Good work. Okay. Let's get our way through this swamp up here. Wargwolves, just a bunch of them. And they're not doing much damage to us. We are getting better in these big old combos here. Combos, though. Now, this would not be the last appearance of a Dark Elf in a Final Fantasy game, at least to my knowledge. I don't know about 2 and 3, but I definitely in 4. The Dark Elf that's in the Magnetic Cave is exact duplicate, I'd say, just a 16-bit duplicate of the Astos model from the original Final Fantasy, so it was nice to see him make a reappearance in that game. Reusing assets is Final Fantasy's, or Squaresoft's bread and butter, it would seem. Alright, let's do this. We've got a score to settle. A vendetta run. Where things get real. Ooh, preemptive strikes. All day. All day. Black Widows ain't nothing. Bam. You know, I'd really love if anybody who might possibly be watching this could potentially recommend a good USB microphone, but preferably a headset mic, if it's at all possible. USB is preferred, at least because I have to use it for my job as well, but, you know, it's something that'll give me a good sound quality on the voice. I'm using we use a sort of webinar software that doesn't play nice unless there's a USB mic plugged in, so that's kind of getting in my way. Awesome. Alright, this is the room. Let's top up, make sure everything's ready. Okay, there we go. Pisco Demons go. Only 3 of them? We got this. Boy, they are really pouring on the damage, though. Still, look at that. One hitting them, one shotting them. Bam, bam, bam. Got the crown, son. and that's another celebration point. So, I mentioned in the last video that this spot was farmable. It is. Check it out. Respawn. Let's go ahead and do this up. They got really low HP, but if you can survive a hit from them and dish out some damage in return, you're ahead of the game. Awesome. Let's just check what my monks are all about. 369, yeah, they're not. Ichi is still way behind. That's kind of sad, really, but at least they're not so completely and totally out of sync that, you know, it takes like 4 or 5 battles to get them up again. So let's just get a few more Piscademon fights in. Ow! Enough of that stuff. And the point that the game is going to really turn around and start, you know, honestly picking up is when I get the healing staff, and I am going to be taking on the Castle of Ordeals fairly early in comparison to how you would normally do it in this game. There is a trick to it. It's actually called the Citadel of Trials in this game. Meh. But, yeah, I'm going to be taking it on not only in a way that is much earlier than it's intended to be, but it's also much easier than the intended original path, and I'll show you why when that comes up. It's going to be probably immediately after whatever video I happen to take on Lich in. And if things are short enough here and I manage to take down the Dark Elf, I may just go ahead and see towards taking this outside of the Inner Seas. That would be quite the video. Come on, take these guys on. There's no need to be sitting around dicking. Get paralyzed. That's embarrassing. There you go. Take him down. Alright, Ichi gained a level. Just shag ass on out of here. Green slimes. Seem to remember them. Yeah, they don't have a lot of HP, but they don't take a lot of damage either. So these can be very unfortunate fights, often, where it just drags on and you can't seem to get anywhere. Having some magic would help, but it's not necessary 100% of the way. I got practically nothing for it, so really, that was a stupid effort. Sort more stuff, and go. Well, that was fun. Let's go ahead and save. Just because I want to get north. How are we doing on time? Not even 9 minutes yet. Just over 8 minutes. That's fine. We should be able to push this on a little bit further. You have to pardon my lack of commentary. As mentioned before, I am quite delirious. I don't often get the requisite amount of sleep, and so that always comes back to me later on. But I'm good. Gotta have something to do. Don't skip an enemy. Alright. So I mentioned several videos ago that Final Fantasy seems to stick fairly well to D&D rules, which is, it's kind of an untrue statement. Obviously there are games based on the D&D rules and engines and such, but just for the time, it was actually a very interesting take on those rules, because we didn't always have MP. I mean, you're not seeing me using MP here, but the original game had, shall we say, cast numbers. You only had a certain amount of casts of a spell, which, you know, that's definitely a throwback to the D&D style. Most of us nowadays couldn't think of a game where you have any sort of magic attack, you know, other than Dark Souls, that is, but you have any sort of magic attack that has a limited specific number of casts. We're all used to the old MP system, so back then it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm kind of Kind of stalling here, I guess, but just a lot of the ways that this game worked, you know, just felt like they followed some D&D rules. So let's hear what this fucker has to say. Yeah, evil laughter. Okay. Oh, noes. Oh my! It's Astos! Oh. Uh-huh. So he has the crystal eye. Oh, the true Elf King. We just want a fucking key. Uh-huh. Alright, now this is a fight that you could die because once in a while he'll cast an instant death spell like that. And it worked. So, fuck my life. Okay, well, he doesn't cast it more than once, so we've got a shot. There we go. Bam. And then 2 potions to round it off. Nothing makes me more pissed off when he one-hit kills with his death spell and takes one of my guys out. There you go. Simple as that. Awesome. And so now we have the crystal eye. See? And that's, of course, that's a very celebratory music, and obviously we're going to be hearing quite a bit more of that as we go through, because now comes the time. We got the crown, we killed the elf, we got the eye, now we got to go to the witch and get the herb, and then we got to take the herb to the prince and get the key, and then we got to take the key to the castle and get the TNT, and oh my god, it never ends. So, they're short little quests, but I mean, this is just one long epic fetch quest, and it just feels like just the biggest tug around of all time. I'm sure there have been bigger tug-around campaigns, but this one, it's often the 80s gamers' first look into that kind of a setup. You know, when you've started off with the Nintendo era and have been through the original 8-bit systems and pick up these games. I mean, if you started during that era, then this was your exposure to the role-playing genre. I know that a lot of people can I don't know, speculate against that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people did RPGs beforehand, just desktop stuff, tabletop stuff, and of course there was Dragon Warrior, but I like to think that Final Fantasy is the first actual role-playing video game that honestly made it overseas to us Westerners. And the Final Fantasy series has certainly become the biggest name in role-playing video games. Definitely over the 80s and 90s period, if not beyond. Final Fantasy, what are they up to, like the 20,000s now? With those fucking things. Again, I'd really like it if they'd go back to a game that has the same tone as Final Fantasy VI. And, you know, I don't know, call me old-fashioned, call me Ishmael, whatever you want to call me. I don't care for video games that have words in the music, and Final Fantasy, I guess they kind of started doing that, didn't they? I'm not too sure where Kingdom Hearts falls into that mix, but then again, Kingdom Hearts is made by Square Enix, so there you go. Alright, so we got the orb, Crystal Eye, and now we're heading north. Now you could, you know, take the Cornelia port, whatever. But there's also a port over here. You can sail under the bridge and land at this port over here. And it's just that little bit closer to Matoya's cave. God, goblins. That's funny. We're already way older than this. We're too old for this shit. It's almost like, you know, not even worth stopping and fighting now. gonna start running just because it's a pain in the ass if this doesn't stop. It's always, you know, that I really like how in Earthbound, Mother 2 in the Japan region, that they gave you the option that number one, the enemies ran away from you. Oh, dialogue. Boom. Poor old lady. But what was I talking about? I forgot. I'm sure I'll remember. Well, what's this? My crystal eye? Give it here. Thank you. It's a potion, not an herb. Jolt tonic, there you go. I think I was talking about, words in songs. Yeah, the ending songs having words in them, I didn't cotton to them. So yeah, we just helped out Matoya and got her crystal eye back. Let's see what she has to say to us now. Oh god, burned. Okay, an interesting thing about the brooms here. Keles not to be. Oh, yep. They kind of messed it up around here, but basically the broom is telling you to see the map. You press and hold the B button and the select button. Like so. And you see where we are. The ship is right there, Elfheim's over there, and yada yada. So yeah, there you go. I don't care for ending music that has words in it. And actually, Xenogears is the first game that I ever played that actually had words in any of the ending music. Didn't care for it then, don't care for it now. Again, call me old-fashioned. I was kind of on the verge of saying something halfway intelligent, but then I got caught up in the dialogue, so alright, I guess it'll forever be lost to the ages. So now we've got the Jolt Tonic. We're going to be heading down back to Elfheim. Big eyes. Oh no, that's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, these guys will paralyze you alright. But we can always kill them with one hit. There we go. Let's do a quick save. Not because I'm worried about dying, but simply because, you know what, fuck this. We don't have to sit here and take this shit. We're monks, we're black belts. We're the bomb. Okay, Elven Castle. What's up, guys? Astos Curse has put our prince into a deep sleep from which he cannot awake. Will you not attempt to aid our slumbering prince? You know what, if I was getting a nice long nap, I would be pretty pissed off if some guys came and tried to knock me out of it. What do you got to say for yourself, dipshit? Oh, my, it did work. Terrible nightmare. Are we now? Okay. I'll be honest, I don't get what the fuck is going on. I mean, it's supposedly it's 1,000-year-old, 2,000-year-old thing, and you know, there's some kind of time loop involved, and just some bullshit that I simply can't follow. I don't know what this game's thing was, but it tried to do something, and whatever it was trying to do was dumb. I mean, I loved the game, don't get me wrong, I still appreciate the mechanics of it and how it plays, but if you look at the story, it was convoluted, it was slapped together, it was poorly implemented. I mean, just from a standpoint of if you sat down to this game for the first time right now, as a grown-up, if you had just picked up this game, you would think, man, what a shitty game in comparison with some of the others I have played with deeper story. But, you know, one must remember it was a story for a game in the 80s, and we were entertained by stupid shit like a couple of Contra guys going and shooting out a giant alien heart. So, you know, stuff like this was not exactly challenging. It wasn't challenging social norms. So, alright, now that we've got the key, we can come get the nitro powder. On my way, old man. Yee! Okay. Got a cottage, got a saber, got a mithril knife, none of which are going to be useful to me. Iron armor, not useful. Tent. And... hooray! It's nitro powder. Just what we needed. I don't want to dump all over the game. I'll say all the nasty stuff I can. I do, but, you know, honestly, this game is still good enough that it brought me back. It's fun to play, and it kind of takes me back to a time when games were new and exciting. And nowadays, games are just something I play to escape, to just kind of distract myself, and back then they were an adventure for me to have. So, you know, it kind of takes me back a little bit to that feeling of adventure, just to, you know, walk the paths that I have walked and see and hear the story told in a new way. So, you know, I don't mean to dump all over the game. It's a good game, and it was especially good for the time. So, don't hate on me just for being playful hating at the game. That being said, let's go do some more stupid bullshit. Okay, so this is the culmination. We're bringing it up to the culmination of what that entire fetch quest was all about. We bring the damn nitro powder to Nelwyn. We'll find out what his name is. Merrick? Something of that nature. What's up? Narek, there we go. Nitro pooter. In this pooter. Oh my god. A Scottish accent so terrible it fucking hurts my eyes to read. Oh god. This is insulting to everyone. Loiter. Oh boy. I am literally hearing Billy Connolly on top of the hog. That is the voice that is playing in my head. Okay, time for a cutscene. Whoa. Okay, that is pretty cool. That obviously wasn't in the original game. There was a box of text that went away and then this shit opened up. But hey, they touched up on it. And that's pretty. I think that's a nice little touch. He's happy. Oh, wow. Just wow. Merrick. Okay, so here's some great treasure in here. The Great Helm is nice. Worm Killer, that's a really good sword if you got a fighter in the party. Really good sword, like irresponsibly good sword. And a cottage. Let's see if any of the crap that I've gotten thus far has any effect. No, 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 no. Okay, none of them are any good. None of them do squat. I thought the Worm Killer cast poison, but I don't know, we'll find out. You can use weapons and gear in this game. Some of it can be used as items that will cast spells. I've mentioned this before. And to my knowledge, the first actual effective item that you get your hands on that does that are the gauntlets from the Castle of Ordeals. They were called the Zeus Gauntlets, actually, or just the Zeus back in the original game. And had I known back then what I know now, well, let's be honest, I never actually made it that far back then. I always kind of bulked at the Marsh Cave. So here we are, bam, outside of the original game, or sorry, outside of the Inward Sea. So here we are at the town of Melmond, and we're going to be delving into this town shortly. We'll go ahead and do a save, and I think that'll wrap us up for now. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Solanus Dracone, and this has been Final Fantasy IV Moon's Realm.